What's up, Big 12 Nation? It is Tuesday night in America. That can mean only one thing. It is time for another installment of your favorite YouTube Big 12-centric college football show. That's right, the one, the only, the biggest 12. With me, your host, Clint Foster. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Tuesday night. And man alive, do we have a lot to talk about today. The bowl selections are out. And some of us are furious, and others are, okay. And then we also got to talk about our playoff contender, the Arizona State Sun Devils. But, of course, we'll get to all of that. First, I need something from you. You got to subscribe to the show. Come on, man. You know this. You got to subscribe to the show, or lady. Come on, lady. Subscribe to the show at Big 12 Voice of College Football. There it is right there. Hit the little like button. Hit the little bell. You're going to want to ding that thing and tell everyone you know about us. If you're watching on Twitter, hi. Hey, yes, I'm talking to you. Thank you. Please go on YouTube and subscribe to the show. Also, follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55 and my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Comedy. Hopefully I'll have something out for you here within the next week. Some new juicy tidbits on there. I got 2 scripts written. We're going to see if I have time to write them before the kids turn in their midterms, and I have to start grading those. But I have just clawed my way out of the rough draft hole. Okay, we are revived. We have new energy. We have a little bit of new time on our hands. And we're about ready to talk some college football. Also, find the biggest 12 on your audio platform of choice. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon. We're on Spotify. I mean, we're probably sending out smoke signals before you know it. So find us. Make us a part of your everyday. So without further ado, let me welcome in my guest for the evening. You know him. You love him. It's Brownie and new hair who dis, Brittany Rose. Brittany, how are we doing tonight?
Good.
I'm wearing black for the morning of my loss.
I had a midlife crisis. I'm good about the loss now.
Midlife?
I am not.
Wow.
I still am not.
You look fantastic, Brittany. For midlife, you look fantastic, Brittany.
Thanks.
So we should start out with that before we get into anything else. You two are Iowa State fans. Unfortunately, so Ralph did not join us tonight. We're going to have Ralph on for those of you at home. In a couple weeks, we'll talk about the playoff, and we'll really take a deep dive into whoever it is that the Devils happen to be playing. Congratulate them on their first Big 12 championship, first championship at all since the 90s. How was y'all's Big 12 championship experience? Brownie, you were down here for the game. Tell us about it.
Wait, you went in person?
Yeah. I went down with a couple of friends,
thing.
and Dallas Live was pretty fun. It was actually kind of weird because I knew the DJs from a previous party. So shout out Lost Kings. It's now the second time that I've seen them. They did actually recognize me from my tattoo, which was kind of weird, but things happen. Saturday was not such a fun day. We did end the trip at Buc-ee's though, so that made it slightly better. As
got you some beaver nuggets on the way out of town.
It's actually kind of funny that you say that. Buc-ee's Nuggies, baby. Yeah, these things are absolutely delicious. Got the beaver nuggets there. Got beef jerky by the pound because that's also what you do there. I think I heard the fresh brisket on the board 20 million times while I was there. It was a bussin' place. It's like a Walmart meets a restaurant / deli meets I put Buc-ee's beaver face on literally anything and everything. It was definitely an experience. I think we spent more time there than we actually did at Jerry's World, which I would like to file a complaint with whoever designed that stadium needs to be taken out back, because the bathroom situation, you either have to go all the way to the bottom, main concourse, or you have to go all the way to the tippy top, and you can't go all the way around. Oh, I guess apparently my camera froze.
Yeah, but we can still hear you.
And in order to get from one side of the stadium to the other side of the stadium, it's just going to stay like that, I guess. You have to go all the way to the 400th level and then walk around the entire way to get to the other side. Like, you can't just go like on the main concourse and go from one end to the other end. It's like the stadium is split in half. And I think that's ridiculous. So whoever designed it, I don't know who you are, but I am going to find you and say some not so nice words to your face.
We gon' find you. Clint wants to know how full the stadium was. Didn't look great on TV. How full was it, Brownie?
I would probably say about 80. I think I messaged you. I think it was what, 80-ish% in the lower bowl. But then once you got above that, it was not full, like, at all. I mean, after the first quarter, we probably could have gone from like our normal seating area and probably gone into the 100s in the Iowa State or the Arizona State section and probably would have never gotten kicked out.
Is it true that it was mostly Iowa State people?
I would say that it was probably split fairly decently, half and half.
Wow.
The upper sections, I think, were more Iowa State fans than Arizona State fans, but the lower bowl did a fairly good job at like that 50-50 split. Now, if we're talking like Texas Live, that was like 99.99% Iowa State and like 0.00001% Arizona State fans. We got there probably around 6-ish. And I kid you not, they literally went to one of the upper bars and kind of huddled in a corner. And Iowa State was literally everywhere else. And then as soon as PBR opened, it was like 100% Iowa State fans in PBR. So that was shocking and hilarious. And hey, there we go. Finally fixed my web camera.
Well, you know, people can say all they want about how, hey, it's not a great look. You know, we wanted the stadium to be full, and does Texas fill that thing up for state championships? You bet your butt we do, right? That it's not unusual for other games for that stadium to be full. But here's the thing that I think is getting lost in translation for a lot of folks. When TCU was in the playoff 2 years ago, if you didn't already live in DFW, traveling to the Big 12 championship, buying a ticket to the Big 12 championship, then traveling to the first round of the playoff, which is something both of these teams were thinking about having to do. You've
got to do it all in a week.
Yeah. And then if you got to go to another round, that is a lot of freaking money. Okay. I broke the dadgum bank just paying my friend for my ticket to the Big 12 championship and then making my way to the national championship. It's expensive to be a college football fan these days. It's outrageous, and it shouldn't be that way. But, you know, it's tough for a lot of folks from Iowa and Arizona to make that trip all the way down to DFW. I don't begrudge folks for not completely filling up the stadium.
I mean, for logistical purposes, you're looking at, I mean, some of the tickets, it's kind of weird too, because when you bought the tickets right away, like as soon as Iowa State fans knew that we were going, tickets were ranging anywhere between like $100 to $300, right? So you're talking, let's just like put it right in the middle, $200. And then you're looking at roughly maybe another $160 to $200 in gas. And then you're probably getting overcharged for an Airbnb or a hotel. So
that's if you drive. That's if you're not far enough to have to fly.
So that's
Flights
like
are
$200
plus.
$600. Yeah, it's $200+ per night that you stay down there. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not driving down Friday night, spending Friday night, staying Saturday, and then like driving back up. I mean, you're talking probably $700 for just the championship game per person. But of course, like if you have multiple people going and you carpool and you share your Airbnb, obviously that price goes down. But I mean, you're still talking like $300, $400 a pop. And that's, again, without flying. If you fly, that's a lot more money because now you're spending money on Ubers. And if you're not close to the stadium, you have to Uber to the stadium. You have to Uber away from the stadium. You have to Uber to the airport. I mean, for fan bases that I would say are probably in the lower echelon when it comes to their financial situation, being able to swing both the championship game and the playoffs, it's really constraining. So yeah, unless you have a lot of money, you're not going to be in that lower bowl section, you know? And I don't think a lot of Iowa State fans traveled just because of that cost.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, if I'm in your shoes, Brownie, and there's even a prayer that Iowa State might be getting to the playoff, I'm saving my money for that. Right. I'm more interested in making it to that game. Right.
Right. And I mean, it was one of those things for me where I was like, how many more times are we going to get to the Big 12 championship? I'm like, well, credit cards exist for a reason, I guess. So I'll bite the bullet on this one. Yeah, right. I was like, nothing feels greater than indentured servitude to go and watch my favorite college team potentially play in the playoffs. But I mean, it was a catch-22. A lot of fans thought that we had a significant chance, especially with Arizona State's wide receiver being gone. And apparently Iowa State decided that they had the world's biggest like pandemic of the yips ever. So, I mean, game day experience was good. I mean, we went to a couple of tailgates. It felt like an Iowa State tailgating party. We honestly left probably about halfway through the third quarter and decided
You made it longer than I did on the TV.
Oh man, it was rough. I mean, I just wanted to watch Neo, and by the way, that was absolute shit. I'm sorry, but that was terrible. I don't know how much Neo got paid, and I don't know how good it sounded on the TV, but if all the tweets that I read live while like watching it in person were right, I think it was actually better on TV than it was in person because it was not good.
It was decent on TV. I think the part that made it more entertaining on TV is like I was excited for like the bands, right? I'm like,
oh yeah,
the marching bands get to play like for like a famous person. That's kind of cool. Like I more paid attention to them.
The problem was you couldn't hear the bands when the bands played in the stadium. Like Neo was just so cranked up that you couldn't hear anything.
The acoustics in that stadium are horrific. They're terrible.
Oh, they're absolutely terrible. And the bass was like freaking blasting on everything. And I was like, could you just like turn that from 100% to maybe like 40 and we might be able to call it good? I mean, it was not a fan. Could they have done better? Probably. But I mean, really, how much do you think Neo got paid to do that? Probably not a whole heck of a lot, but enough that he should have cared and didn't, but whatever.
Well, and then I was watching it obviously from home, and I had convinced myself, I was like, all right, I have a grad degree from ASU. Like, I'm an alumni. Like, this can go either way, and I'll be happy. I'll be fine. I quickly realized I was not fine. Okay. I was very sad. I was not fine.
There was nothing about that game that was fine.
The thing
other than potentially us getting fined for being morons. I don't know.
The thing is too, like, when I was a grad student there, they sucked. And I also like didn't really care about their sports program while I was going to school there. Nobody really did because I did my program online, and even like the professors would joke about how shitty ASU was like at the time. Like it was bad. And I had friends who went to ASU for undergrad, and I know current ASU students will be like, oh, people really care, but I don't know. My friend was always at like pool parties, I feel like, instead of games. Like I had them ranked in dead last just like the polls did. I don't even know if I had them winning a single game. And then they made it there. I had Texas Tech going to the playoff. I had Kansas being close. I had Iowa State being like possibly. I had 4 teams that I care about. Okay, 4 teams, and the one that I didn't expect to go at all was the one who went, and the one who won. And I don't know. I was hoping it was going to be better than the 2020 championship game. And at least it started out better than that. There was no like targeting call on the first drive, but like I still, by halftime, I needed to turn it off. I was going to cry. I was screaming at the TV. And it was sad.
Yeah, and the problem is you can't teach tackling at halftime. You can make adjustments to your defense, but like you can't all of a sudden be like, oh, hey guys, did you know that you can tackle in this sport?
You can
Well,
tackle that freight train with Scattaboo on the back of his jersey. You're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
But
the
like,
issue
what's wild is
too.
when you watch the replays, they have them dead to rights so many times, and then you just see the defenders like let go for some strange reason. Like, why? You
Well,
literally rap tackled him at his waist, and you're holding on, and there's two more guys coming in to tackle, and you're like, oh, they got him, and then let go. Like, why?
even if you take him away, even if you take him out of the picture, right? Like the times they didn't hand the ball to him because they had him guarded, right? Their quarterback is also a decent runner. He could also run
Real good. Yeah, real good.
pretty damn far. Like if Skatibu Boo, I hate that it's Boo because it looks like Bo. Didn't run it, they gave it to the quarterback and the quarterback just ran it. And I'm like, it's like having two running backs. It was impossible to watch.
Yeah. That's like me in middle school drafting Mike Vick first overall for my fantasy team. It's like having two running backs, guys. This can't go wrong, right? All right. My mom is very upset at me, Brownie, that I didn't show you around DFW when you were in town. But we had some extenuating circumstances. I had to take the car into the shop, and it was a whole big mess. But next time you're down here, we're gonna make something happen. And
Mama
here's the other thing:
I am 100% down.
Yes. Ryan says, I wonder how much the Big 12 will get behind the Devils if they play that school in Austin. I will tell you how much, 1,000%.
Oh, I'm 100% rooting for them. Are you shitting me? Like, come on.
Okay. Hold on. I have
Nope, don't even. Nope. If you're going to say that you're rooting for Texas, no voice opinion allowed.
I am rooting for Arizona State.
Okay.
However,
nope.
I am so here I go on my tangent again. I am so sick of the Utah people who are like, the Pac-12 is winning the Big 12. Pac-12 is going to win the title. It won't even be a Big 12 school. And so if they're going to do that, well, then Texas is a Big 12 school still. Like,
yeah.
It bothers me. And here's the thing. ASU fans aren't saying that. BYU fans aren't saying that. Arizona fans aren't saying that. The only people that are saying that are Utah fans, and they didn't even get a bowl game.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about them.
Yeah.
You gotta say something to stop the tears.
Eventually, they'll go back to the Mountain West. It's only a matter of time.
I keep waiting for him to be quiet, but it's like Lane Kiffin. Like, yap.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't get me started on Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban. Nick Saban can literally not. TCU lives rent free in Nick Saban's head. We have like a 2-story apartment there. Hold on, I tried to pull up the college football playoff bracket.
I think almost anything pertaining to not SEC lives rent free in Nick Saban's head.
I literally tweeted that it needs to be Lane Kiffin versus Nick Saban in a yapathon.
Yeah,
and we all take bets on who wins and who can go the longest because it's ridiculous.
He was seriously sitting here going like, "Oh, Alabama deserved the 11 seed from SMU because SMU lost," and it's like, dude, SMU still has a better resume. Like,
yes, by
Alabama lost to far worse teams than SMU did.
But that wasn't even their issue. Their issue wasn't who they lost to. That's not who they were bitching about. They were complaining. Both Alabama and Lane for Ole Miss were complaining, we just won't schedule anybody hard for out of conference stuff.
Like, oh, you're gonna go easier than Mercer.
Nobody they played out of conference was hard this year.
Yeah.
Like,
they never play out of hard, and they get 4 free wins every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, if the SEC wants us to take them more seriously, go to 9 and schedule another P4 school like everybody else does.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just like, let all the different, just get rid of conferences. I mean, technically keep them, but like intermingle everybody playing each other. That way nobody has an excuse anymore because it's exhausting.
What if we had one big league and then we split it into like regional divisions of like, I don't know, 10 teams, you know? And then like we could have like 10 teams on the West Coast, and we could have like 10 teams in the middle of the country, and then we could have like 10 teams in the Southeast. And you know, you see where I'm going with this? Like, wouldn't that be fun? We just like went back to playing regional teams, and then
it would be better. Because here's the thing, they blame us for who we play. We don't have a choice. It's our conference. What are we supposed to do?
Yep. Well, and this is as good a time as any to talk about the playoff. We ought to talk about the playoff a little bit because, yes, we all will be rooting for the Devils with bells on. I think the committee got it right. I am quite pleased.
Yes.
I'm a little upset that we're not going to get an SMU Texas first round. I feel like we're being robbed of that. But otherwise, I think the teams that are in and the seeding is correct. What are y'all's thoughts and feelings?
I was pretty happy with them, especially leaving out Alabama. I think if they would have thrown Alabama in there and kicked out like SMU or Indiana, like I think I would have thrown the world's biggest temper tantrum on Twitter. Because I feel like the college football community gaslit them enough to where if Bama got in, I think viewership would have fallen off. And I think there was just enough backlash from them to know that if that in fact did happen, that a lot of people were going to get angry, and that would have definitely solidified the whole SEC biased thing. Because it's all about the teams that are the best. And I don't believe that a team that goes to their conference championship game and loses a close game should be kicked out because they lost to another really decent team, while a team that played Mercer and Southeast, Southern, Northwest Alabama, University of the Blind, and everybody else for their 4 non-cons. Like, it makes no sense to me, because we're basically at that point just saying Alabama and the SEC is guaranteed 4 to 5 seeds in a 12 seed playoff, and everybody else is fighting for a spot, when we know in fact that there's probably going to be 2 Big Ten teams, whether it be, I mean, now we're sitting at 3, but you're now
you're at 4.
see Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan on a good year.
There are 4 big.
There are
right.
because of
4
Indiana.
Big Ten teams. 4 Big
I
Ten.
forgot
teams.
about Indiana.
Yeah.
And then you're probably looking at Notre Dame because they get to pick whoever the heck they want to play football against.
Weirdly enough, there's more Big Ten teams than there are SEC teams. There's 3.
It just
SEC
means
teams.
more.
Yeah. I will tell you, I'm very. I think the first round matchup that entices me the most is Catholics versus cigarettes, the Notre Dame Indiana game.
Right.
I'm kind of glad that they put them against each other, like in the same part of the bracket, because
maybe.
and honestly, I would say neither of them stands a chance against Georgia. But now that we have Carson Beck, who has the Brock Purdy injury, who can't use his arm, and we've got their backup, who that dude's got to have like the worst concussion of his life. I'm pretty sure he woke up in a different decade the next morning. Like, I think anybody can beat Georgia at this point.
Yeah.
I will say
couldn't have been 2 years ago, but anyway.
I think in this bracket, though, when you really look at it, can we just automatically assume Texas is going to the championship game?
No, Oregon.
Not necessarily. I think Oregon,
Oregon will be the hardest part on that
bracket.
But here's the thing. Here's the issue with Oregon. They're undefeated. And I really, it's like, I equate it to March Madness. In March Madness, I don't want to win the conference tournament, because then you're exhausted when it comes to playing in the actual tournament, right? They've gone the entire season undefeated. I feel like it's going to be hard to not drop at least one game. And if you drop a game, you're out.
Right. I'm just more saying along the lines of, if you look at that bracket, I believe that Ohio State or Tennessee is going to put up a bigger fight against Oregon than Clemson and Arizona State are combined against Texas.
I don't think that's true, though. I think Texas is overrated. Texas has played one good team all year, and they lost to them twice. Right?
Yeah.
They had the easiest schedule in the SEC. Arizona State is on a hot streak. They're on a blazing hot streak right now. And Clemson looked pretty dadgum good against SMU. I think the winner of this tournament is going to come from that top left quadrant there. Ohio State, Tennessee, Oregon. As lame as that would be. But I think it's going to be one of those teams that ends up coming out and and try
As
to
long
win.
as it's not an SEC school.
Yeah, as long as it's not SEC.
My dark horse, Boise State wins. And
I would be
Genty
okay with
goes
that.
for like 400 yards and 8 touchdowns, and still somehow doesn't play the second half because they're up 1 billion points. That would be the greatest thing ever of all time.
Yeah, Reggie's got a good point. Don't know why the Ducks get the hardest bracket, even though they're the number 1 seed. Totally.
So they did talk about this on the show, and I saw this also referenced on Twitter a lot by a lot of the analysts, just saying that pretty much everybody's in agreement that they need to change the way they do the seeding next year because the number 1 seed should not have the hardest path.
Yeah.
Short Bus with an interesting take. If there wasn't a 3-week bye, Arizona State would beat both Texas and Clemson. Yeah, I guess just keeping that hot streak alive. I don't know. I like Arizona State to beat either of them anyway. I just really don't think Texas is that good. Yeah,
As much as I would like Texas to not be good, they somehow always pull it out of their keisters.
Well, they haven't for 15 years, I mean,
see. It took them to the SEC to finally get it all figured out, aka play a bunch of cupcakes. But they figured it out, dang it.
And I'm sorry, their game against Georgia was really boring.
It was really boring.
Just make sure that you don't play any other schools from the state of Texas and you win.
Yeah. Do the A&M method, right? A&M running scared from other Texas teams in bowl games for 20 years now. They were this close to playing Baylor in the Texas Bowl, and as they have so many other times, they're like, nope, no thanks. We don't want to do that. Cannot be losing to other Texas teams.
I really actually wanted that to happen. Yeah. I really wanted an A&M Baylor just so Baylor could curb stomp them.
Yeah, and
because it would be sweet justice, and I would laugh hysterically.
Yeah. All right, let's start breaking down these bowl games. We're going to start from the earliest on December 17th, actually my anniversary. So the Frisco Bowl, West Virginia taking on Memphis in this game. But West Virginia, by the way, it's just about finalized that Rich Rod is coming home. Believe it or not, he looks like is going to be the next head coach of the Mountaineers, but he's not there yet. What are your thoughts on this Frisco Bowl?
It's not going to be Rocco Beckstead?
Not what I've heard from my inside sources. It looks like Rich Rod's coming back.
Full circle. They have come full freaking circle.
I didn't know that it was possible for Memphis to get a bowl that wasn't the Liberty Bowl because every single time Iowa State has made the Liberty Bowl, it's been against Memphis, and hasn't it been at Memphis?
Yeah.
I just assumed
the Liberty
that was
Bowl
like
is where they play. Yeah.
I thought that was just like their bowl, so I'm kind of honestly, I don't really give a shit about this bowl, but I'm kind of surprised that Memphis is in it.
I mean, the Liberty Bowl is an SEC tie-in, but typically the SEC doesn't make it that far down the list. So then they pick again, it's a 10-2 Memphis team that Iowa State also played against a 10-2 Memphis team last year, which I find hilarious that they in fact did not get into the Liberty Bowl again, because it seems like that's always what they want to do. But personally speaking, even with Rich Rod, I mean, West Virginia's just going to get curb stomped by these guys.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Is there even a chance? Like, Hennigan is a freaking beast against questionable defenses. Yeah. And I don't think West Virginia is going to have the oomph to really get themselves over the line. And I mean, Green isn't doing too well. How many? I think I saw that West Virginia's, at 11 players that hit the transfer portal so far.
Yeah, I believe they are one of the higher ones.
Yeah, them and UCF currently are having a competition on how many players could enter the transfer portal at one given time. But yeah, I just thought it was funny seeing them get into the Frisco Bowl. A 10-2 team versus a 6-6 just seems extremely unfair. I don't even care if it's a G5. Come on.
Wait, Memphis is 10-2?
Yep. Yeah, Memphis is ranked 25 at 10-2. But because they're probably a G5, they probably are getting the benefit of the doubt that they're crappier than what they are, even though Memphis has been a glorified P5 team for what? 4 years? 2 years? 3? You can't tell me that roster is a G5 team.
Yeah. this is not going to go well for West Virginia, and it worries me. I messaged, I DM'd Mountaineer Paul. A lot of y'all remember Mountaineer Paul, friend of the show. I was like, so what's the deal? Are y'all going to beat Memphis? And it was basically his messages to me. They were the equivalent of a nervous laugh and a shrug. Like
bowl game. What bowl game? It's basketball season.
Yeah. He's like, well, the interim staff is in place, and it looks like we're going to hire Rich Rod. So. Like maybe, well, he's not going to coach in the bowl game, but then for West Virginia, this is where you would expect a 6-6 Big 12 team to end up. It's weird to call Memphis a measuring stick game, but it kind of is. Here with as you have a program reset going on, kind of see where you're at in the early bowl season. Moving on to the Rate Bowl. Okay, it's not guaranteed anymore, just the Rate Bowl.
Kansas State against TCU, but I guess not.
Yeah,
I think this is so
We'll
funny.
get there. Okay.
I think this is so funny because I don't think about the Rate Bowl as like any impressive bowl. And Kansas State was doing pretty well. I don't like Kansas State. So watching them fall to kind of like a shitty bowl that nobody gives a crap about versus Rutgers, who also nobody cares about. Bravo, bowl people.
Yeah. Hey, it was definitely cooler when it was the Cheez-It Bowl, but oh my God, I would have taken the Rate Bowl against Rutgers in a freaking heartbeat over what we got.
Right? I would have too, man.
Shit. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, and I think it's also hilarious that like right now Kansas State is a 6.5 point favorite. Like only 6.5.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, man, unless Avery Johnson or DJ Giddens somehow gets injured from now to the bowl game, 6.5 is free money to hit that sucker because they are 100% gonna score more than a touchdown more than freaking Rutgers. Like Rutgers,
that's what I'm saying. They deserved a better bowl. They deserved a better bowl, so I think it's hilarious that they got that one.
Deserve is hard because in the Big 12 you got like 3,000 teams that are 8-4 right now.
9.
Right? So like how do you actually delineate like who deserves more, especially when they all didn't play each other, right? I kind of think this is where Kansas State more or less should be. Brownie, where did we put them in our when we were wish casting bowl games? Did we
put them in the
Rate Bowl, or where did we put
because
them?
I hated them.
Yeah. I can't remember
because
the
at the Rate Bowl we put TCU in the Rate Bowl.
No, we put TCU in the Texas Bowl.
We put TCU in the Texas Bowl. Yep.
But we were wish casting also.
Yeah. Very big wish casting.
Jeez Louise, man. Hey, hire me to be athletic director. I'm putting my name in the ring. I can get us into the Big Ten, I promise. Okay. So on to the bowl game that TCU was too good for, the Liberty Bowl. Texas Tech, Arkansas. We got a Southwest Conference rematch here. This should be quite delicious. I expect Tech to win. What are y'all's thoughts on the game?
So I knew this wasn't possible, but like you said, wish casting, right? If Iowa State didn't get the Pop Dart Bowl, I wanted Texas Tech to because I thought for a fun bowl, having a really fun fan base would be good. Obviously, Iowa State got that, so Texas Tech wasn't going to get it. I'm not a huge fan of the Liberty Bowl, as I've already stated. I don't like ones in bad weather either. But
does anyone really like the Liberty Bowl? I don't know that anybody does.
No, but I do.
Not even Memphis likes the Liberty Bowl. Are you kidding me? And it's their home stadium.
I do enjoy that it's against Arkansas, for the pure fact that I don't know how, but Waffles has a lot of followers from Arkansas, and I'm not sure why. But like when they play in baseball and stuff, like they'll be like, "Are you gonna be at the game, Waffles?" And so I'm kind of really excited that he gets to play some of his Twitter friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Waffles is my dog, for anybody new. By the way, I saw you said your mom was on here listening. Has your mom seen Waffles?
I have not spoken to my mom about Waffles, but I will make sure after the show that she has seen Waffles. She'll want to be a part of that. We do have this interesting wrinkle, by the way. This seating chart of the Liberty Bowl was going around Twitter the other day. So apparently Tech's entire side of the stadium is going to be under renovation.
What?
Maybe, yeah, maybe this played into TCU's hissy fit, alleged hissy fit over the Liberty Bowl. But
So
you know,
where are they supposed to go?
it looks like all the Tech fans have to either sit right up there by the sideline, which those chairback seats start at 120, or I guess sit in the end zone, I suppose. Throw your batteries from somewhere else.
I feel like they'll
You don't
just
think
be
about
mean and kick Arkansas out.
Maybe, I don't know. But obviously, the Big 12 team is going to get the shaft, right? Of course, right? Why would the Big 12 team get the side that's not under renovation? You know,
They shouldn't even be able to host a bowl if half the stadium is under renovation.
I mean, yeah, yes. Guy wants to know what breed Waffles is, Brittany.
He's a golden retriever. I have 3 golden retrievers and 2 horses.
And a growing arc. Yes, we're going to build a boat soon. All right. So let's
Arkansas is going to.
Let's talk about this. Okay, I need to rant because what the hell, man? Okay, an 8-4 Big 12 team should not be in the New Mexico Bowl. And
I didn't even know the New Mexico Bowl was a thing.
Well, there's no way,
Bowl, buddy.
There's no way that you can talk about this and TCU doesn't look like a bunch of morons for the way this worked out. Do we have an actual AD now? No, right? So that certainly probably played into it. But if rumors are to be believed, this was a situation where TCU turned up its nose at the Liberty Bowl, said no thanks, we're not interested in that. Tried to use the Liberty Bowl as leverage to get into the Texas Bowl, and then everyone just said, F you, go somewhere else, and we get into the New Mexico Bowl against Louisiana Lafayette, okay? A team who is probably going to be down to their third string quarterback, so, we should beat, but who knows what can happen if you're, not excited to play in the bowl game. I do think that this game is going to say a lot about the state of TCU's program. If the players are as upset as a lot of fans are and just decide, oh, F it, we don't care, then that's an indication that our program is really not in a good place culturally. So hopefully they do show out and just, bury these guys. But this is not,
Are you going to go?
How you reward an 8-4 season. Go ahead, Brittany.
Are you going to go?
Oh, no, I can't go. Because how am I going to go out to Albuquerque? I was looking at flights and they were stupid. It's a 9-hour drive from where I'm at. So, I don't want to drive 9 hours for the New Mexico Bowl. I don't want to pay $500 to fly to the New Mexico Bowl and then pay for a ticket. I have had some people be like, oh my God, are you going? Or I live in New Mexico. That'd be cool. And I'm just like,
I just looked it up. It's literally a CUSA and Mountain West Conference tie-in bowl game.
They play for a clay pot. The trophy is a clay pot. Okay.
I don't lie. Clay pot would be pretty badass.
No, you know what? Maybe. Do you guys ever look up?
Meth. Not me.
Do
I'm
you
playing
guys
for a
ever look
Pop-Tart,
up
okay?
Yeah. Well, and that's way cooler, all right? A anthropomorphic Pop-Tart is way cooler than a piece of pottery.
Do you guys ever look up the bowl rewards that the players get though? The cool stuff? Maybe they get something cool.
Maybe they do. Bowl gifts, yes, bowl gifts are always fun, and bowl trips are always fun. I'm sure there's going to be sure they're going to eat some green chilies and who knows what else on the trip. But it's not a prestigious bowl. The payout is less than $1 million. Last I checked. And here is the trophy. I pulled up the trophy now, so we can see this glorious trophy that TCU is playing for.
Oh, that's cooler than I was imagining. I thought it was just plain brown clay.
That could sit if you.
It's something from Home Goods, a brand.
If you guys win, Clint, you could put that on your desk when you become the athletic director.
That is true.
You could put all your pins in the
There's
top.
BYU's logo on there.
Yeah, I guess BYU played for it when they were in the Mountain West. It used to be a Mountain West tie-in bowl, which is why I know it exists. Because in our latter years of the Mountain West, it was one of the last bowl tie-ins for the Mountain West. So we've never played in it before. Yes, Mom, it is worse than the Independence Bowl by all, discernible metrics.
Worse than the Pinstripe Bowl, the Independence Bowl.
It's worse than the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice.
Are tickets $10? Because I feel like tickets are not going to be nobody's.
When I looked, they were around 75. Most tickets were it was somewhere between 60 and $80. Because it's
that's not.
Yeah, it's in UNM Stadium. So it's not like a nice stadium, but also it's like you got to drag your butt out to New Mexico like right around the holidays, and it's like, I mean, it's just not. Who wants to spend all that money for the New Mexico Bowl? I don't know, not me.
Question:
Right?
Would you rather have the New Mexico Bowl or the Idaho Potato Bowl?
Idaho Potato, that's so
Potato.
cool.
Iowa Potato, yeah. I mean, Boise State's got a really cool stadium. It's going to be harder to get out there. They got an anthropomorphic potato. What's not to love?
Yeah, but you can't eat the potato. I mean, you could
can't
make
eat
it
the
into
potato.
vodka.
You can't eat a pot either, right? You can't do that either. So
Who
But
made
you
it?
could smash the pot.
Who got into the Mayo Bowl?
Virginia Tech and who was it? Virginia Tech and Minnesota. Virginia Tech, Minnesota.
Oh, did you guys also see? I forgot what bowl it was, but did you guys see Iowa is in the same bowl as Mizzou? That's like my nightmare.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did
I'm
see
rooting
that.
for the Meteor. Don't worry.
I
Because isn't that one the Pinstripe Bowl?
think so.
I thought that was Music City.
Or, yeah,
Oh,
Music
yeah,
City.
no, you're right.
Yep.
It's Music City.
I have my Bowl Mania pulled up. Yeah.
I mean, Iowa only goes to like 3 different bowls, so I had a 1 in 3 chance.
The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. So, it's a woke bowl, right? John, yes, I would agree. Albuquerque isn't necessarily a football destination. It's not necessarily a destination, right? Most people stop at Santa Fe, right?
I mean, it is if it's Weird Al Yankovic.
Well, yes,
Entire
yes.
song about Albuquerque.
There's like a 10-minute song about it. Yeah, that is true.
Which
And
is
isn't it
everything that
technically their
goes on in
capital?
Albuquerque.
You can see the Breaking Bad house, and you can sing the Weird Al song, and you can eat some green chilies. There you go.
And I'm also, isn't it the capital of New Mexico?
It is the capital, yes.
So you can go to the state capital.
Sure.
And you can have crappier Tex-Mex food because it's not Tex-Mex.
Is there tequila?
Probably. I mean, I've been to New Mexico several times.
Border.
Most Texans that go to New Mexico, they go up to like Ruidosa, like the northern piney mountainy area that's like actually pretty to look at, or they go to Santa Fe because like, look at the adobe buildings and the turquoise and all of the newsies running around singing, that sort of thing. I'm now, you've got me curious, Brittany, if the state capital is even anything worth looking at. Oh no, it's not.
Well, and there's also some towns in New Mexico that
it is Santa Fe.
I remember finding out that there's some place in New Mexico where you can't drive and it's just fully horses. Like horses just wander freely around the town.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Albuquerque's the capital. Everyone's saying Santa Fe. I'm 99% sure. I mean, I don't teach U.S. history.
Google it. You're on Google.
I'm pretty positive. What is the capital of New Mexico?
Oh.
Whoops.
I could have sworn it was Albuquerque. Well,
you know what? It's
did
Albuquerque
they change
now.
that? Like, what's this new?
I honestly think they might. Look, is Albuquerque? Go to the first question. No. Scroll down a little. First question. Yeah, right
New
there.
Mexico's largest city is
What is the
Albuquerque, and
capital?
The state capital is Santa Fe.
Oh, well, there you go.
Red
There you go. Go figure.
That's depressing.
I did not even know that.
Shows how much we know about New Mexico.
Yes. I do know that several times throughout its history, Texas has claimed to own Santa Fe, and every time the people of Santa Fe have been like, no, thank you. But yeah, Santa Fe seems Santa Fe is better than Albuquerque. So yeah, what's the appeal of Albuquerque? It's not even the state capital. There's nothing there. Geez. Okay. So yeah, I'm annoyed, and I'm gonna watch the game on TV, and I'm gonna want the Frogs to win. And it's gonna be very fair. Oh yes, hot air balloons. Thank you, John. Yes, John, just jump on the show, John. Hold on, let me send you the link. Let's get John on the show. Just stop. Get out of the comments. You need to be on the show.
There's apparently mountains in the background, so maybe that's what the appeal is. But again, New Mexico, man.
Yeah, it's not the best. Not the best, man. But hopefully we get a athletic director here real soon. Come on, exclamation point.
Oh, I didn't even realize that I could read the comments. By the way, your mom says waffles was beautiful, as I remember. I love your mom.
Mom is very active in the chat today. Who doesn't love potatoes? You're right, Mom. Okay.
I only like potatoes in liquid form with an alcohol level of 40% or higher.
Yeah, okay. All right. In heaven, there is no beer. That's why we drink it here, right, Iowans?
BEERUN, beer run.
All right. So we'll move on. We'll move on from this game. Let's talk about that Pop-Tart Bowl, that crown jewel of all Big 12 bowl games. I'm so jealous of y'all, truly. I want to be in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
I'm so excited that a team I care about got the Pop-Tart Bowl. I wanted
Yes.
them to get it so bad last year.
Ooh,
And now this year they've got 3 flavored Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. Yes. And as I understand it, the MVP gets to pick what flavor of Pop-Tart descends into the toaster.
I think it's almost kind of weird that we got the Pop-Tart Bowl because Kyle Conradi, after the game-winning field goal at Iowa, got a shit ton of Pop-Tarts in the mail. So, I mean...
Wait, what?
I guess it's only... Did you not see that clip?
No. Why did he get Pop-Tarts?
Because he got Pop-Tarts Player of the Week or something? Or Pop-Tarts Highlight of the Week or something? Let me look at it. Yeah, but it was just kind of weird that I was like, oh, so the players get to decide like what they get to eat.
I love that Pop-Tart. Yeah. This is the best bowl game. Like the Duke's Mayo Bowl was cool, but then this got invented, and this should be a playoff game because this is the best. This should be the championship game.
Truly, yes. What I mean,
there's nothing better than the Pop-Tart.
Let's be honest with ourselves. What is more prestigious, a college football playoff national championship, a Pop-Tart bowl championship?
So let's hear it though. What Pop-Tart flavor would you pick to eat?
The brown sugar cinnamon.
Eat it. That's okay.
John Grove is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. John, how you doing?
John is a man of good taste, so he's probably gonna say some amazingly good flavor.
John, did you enjoy the Pop-Tart Bowl last year?
I enjoyed watching it while driving through the Denver airport traffic. All right, we were coming back from California, and I had the game on my phone on the ESPN app, and I was just like, I hope I don't get nauseous because there was snow on the road around that time, and I was just getting nauseous all over. So it was, in terms of the overall experience, it wasn't great. But I mean, hey, who doesn't enjoy eating Pop-Tarts after you win? I'd say if you were to tell me, I'd say eating Pop-Tarts is more valuable for the human being rather than winning a trophy because you get to eat. Eventually, that feels like more of an award.
Like the Thanksgiving
like a true college student
during the NFL.
Spoken like a true college student.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally, it's a more exciting bowl than the bowl that's for like the championship. Like, just make it one of the championship or one of the playoff bowls. Like, it's the best bowl there is. It's so fun.
So Brittany picked a terrible flavor of brown sugar. What's everybody else picking for their flavors?
That's the best one.
Respectfully, wrong.
I mean, okay, so like I do agree with my mom. Blueberry Pop-Tarts are elite. I would probably go with blueberry Pop-Tarts. I honestly haven't tasted many flavors, but I do love the s'mores Pop-Tarts. I think s'mores Pop-Tarts
are really good, but you have to warm them up in the toaster.
Yeah, you have to warm them up.
I didn't like the s'mores one, and the only other two I've had is frosted strawberry, and the brown sugar cinnamon.
You've never had blueberry?
You've never had a blueberry Pop-Tart?
Have blueberry immediately.
OG Pop-Tart.
Yes,
does it just taste like a blueberry Nutri-Grain bar? That's kind of what I'm imagining.
Kind of, yeah, except for sweeter.
I mean, better and not taste like cardboard.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't taste at all healthy, but yeah, it tastes kind of like a blueberry Nutri-Grain bar.
If you want something that's blueberry plus sugar, get a blueberry Pop-Tart.
I think I'd just make blueberry muffins.
Well, okay, that wasn't the.
But that
wasn't the question.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll just have a filet mignon.
John's gonna say
Okay,
something
yes.
good, and you're over here with freaking brown sugar.
Why not just have a cake?
It's brown sugar, cinnamon. Cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon roll. Okay.
All right, John, lay it on me. You're probably gonna say wild berry, aren't you?
No, not Wildberry. No. Gross. If I'd had to
Sugar,
choose,
cinnamon.
yeah, I mean brown cinnamon.
It's disgusting.
Okay.
No.
It is warm. I mean, it's very comforting, especially if you toast it. That's as far as I can go. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't really have too much opinions on it. For strawberry, I mean, if it's there, but I'll eat it. So those are pretty much the two bread and butter ones. Is that what Pop Tart's made out of? Bread and butter.
Well, don't ask Robert F. Kennedy. He'll probably tell you some sort of chemical. That's made out of it. I'm sure essentially
it's actually a full blown chemical.
it's all coal sludge. That's all it is.
It can't be worse. It can't be worse than the Monster Energy drinks that I drink daily. That I'm pretty
Wow.
sure he's gonna outlaw.
Yeah.
Looks like
I mean,
wheat
cherry
flour,
Pop Tarts are good. Apparently, there's a
syrup.
chocolate chip cookie dough Pop Tart. What?
There is.
That sounds
Red velvet
gross.
cake?
Well, that sounds tempting.
Did you see the new strawberry milkshake Pop Tart that just came out? I really want to try that one.
What's
I
the
have not.
difference
I know what
between
sounds
that and the strawberry one?
One is milkshake flavored, and the other one's
One has sprinkles on it. The strawberry milkshake has sprinkles. Here, we'll get a picture up here.
Doesn't the
Uh,
normal strawberry one have sprinkles too?
Well, but
Well,
like
the-
candy
it's
sprinkles, not
full-blown
like
sprinkles.
not like little dots.
Also, I don't know how I feel about frosted watermelon flavored Pop Tarts.
That sounds disgusting.
I personally, I am a fan of almost everything watermelon, but I think we're drawing a line here,
Watermelon bread is a little weird.
right?
Yeah.
Those strawberry milkshake ones, they look like the kind of sugar cookies that you get at the grocery store.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so those look exactly like that.
Yeah, where you're like, I think this is plastic, but it's delicious. Yeah.
And it probably has about the same amount of sugar in it.
Yeah.
If not, probably more.
Watermelon, I agree with you. That's wrong. Anything that you can't make into like a cake flavor or like a muffin
Chocolate?
shouldn't be a Pop Tart.
Did you see the frosted banana bread Pop Tarts? I
I
am
did-
curious about that one.
I did see
But
Oh,
that.
there's
banana
banana bread
bread
ones?
At
That
work,
sounds
dude?
delicious. Also, your mom commented and said there was a movie about Pop Tarts called Unfrosted that she started watching but never finished, and I need to go watch this now.
Yeah, I think it was on Netflix. I think I saw some previews for that. Yeah, I couldn't really get the vibe of that movie from the
Like,
previews.
what was it? Like the history of the Pop Tart?
I think it's like a comedic history of the Pop Tart. Yes, like I feel like Jim Gaffigan was involved and like Melissa McCarthy. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was like a comedic history of Pop Tarts. Chat, drop your favorite Pop Tart flavor. We'll continue that conversation.
If it's not blueberry, you're wrong.
John, since you have jumped onto the show, and thank you for doing that, by the way, I got to get your thoughts on the Rate Bowl. Hit us.
Man, this is one of the rare years I just wanted to see K-State beat up on an SEC team in the Liberty Bowl. It's like, oh my, it's cool that we're going to Arizona and all. Like, we don't have to visit Memphis or anything like that, but we're playing a below average Big Ten team on a baseball turf. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, the appeal wasn't there for me. But anyways, I have not dived deep yet into this records matchup. But I do know that both teams are very physical. They'll be very ground and pound heavy, run with the ball more often. I'd probably say just with the sheer talent, I'd probably have to lean towards K-State, but I'd have to kind of look back and see look a little more deeper into records roster, and then I'll have more of a final verdict. But I'd probably say just K-State, just based on the paper right now.
Well, Rutgers still runs a 4-3 defense, so if that tells you literally anything, aka they're not going to be able to do anything if Avery Johnson passes extremely well.
Yeah.
And I feel like DJ Giddens is just going to pop off anyways.
We'll see.
Yeah. This definitely plays into y'all's favor. And, it is kind of like an actual Big 12 bowl tie-in. So, that's good. It's good for you.
We've played in this bowl game several times. We've been like 3 times in the last 10 years. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a home away from home. So yeah, we had, I believe, in the Fiesta Bowl 2012, we brought like 30,000 fans to Arizona. And then the year after that, we played them at that very same bowl game. They changed the titles of these bowl games. I'm not a fan of it. This bowl game in particular used to be like the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl. It used to be the Copper Bowl. Now it's the Rate Bowl. No guarantees anymore with inflation these days.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's a real shame. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
It doesn't get better than the Cheez-It Bowl. That's when this bowl peaked. Is when it was the Cheez-It Bowl.
When it was the
Absolutely.
Cheez-It Bowl.
Yes.
And they won with a bunch of Cheez-Its.
Yes, an actual trophy full of Cheez-Its.
Like that could have
They got
maybe
free Cheez-Its
competed.
for the whole year.
That could have maybe competed with the Duke's Mayo and the Pop-Tart Bowl, but then what happened
Okay,
to that?
I meant to bring this up. Yes, you brought up the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and I do love the gimmick. I love the idea of dunking a coach in mayo just because it's so utterly college football. But it's also really gross.
It's disgusting. I just like the
I
mascot.
do it. I would deep dive straight into the mayo.
See, I'm not really a mayo guy. I don't know.
I have been Europeanized, and I eat like my French fries with mayonnaise because that's what they do over there instead of like ketchup and stuff. And it is delicious.
I just think the mascot is cute, and he kind of paved the way for the Pop-Tart, you know? I feel like
he
deserves
walked so
some
the Pop-Tart
recognition.
Bowl mascot could fly, right?
So the Pop-Tart mascot could get
fly?
toasted.
Yeah.
Does he have a cape?
The mayo mascot?
Oh,
I
the
don't
mayo
know.
mascot has a cape?
No.
Well, here's the mayo mascot. This is the dude. He's got some eyebrows on him.
Please tell me it.
He's looking like
yeah.
Luigi Mangione over there with those eyebrows.
That right there, that's gonna haunt me for the rest of my days.
And he's funny on Twitter too. He's funny, just like the Pop-Tart.
That's the kind of jar I want to dip my Pop-Tart into. My goodness, that thing is massive.
Okay, Pop-Tarts with mayo now that we've completely lost the plot. This is
Worse than the watermelon Pop-Tart.
Okay, so Brownie, let's move on. We called this one, Brownie, BYU versus Colorado. We have an all Big 12 Alamo Bowl. Make of that what you will, please.
Alamo?
What do we think of this?
I think this is actually going to be the closest Big 12 game in like the bowl games.
It's going to be a good game
out of
It
everybody.
will be a good game.
Yeah, I think that I know that a lot of Iowa State fans got mad because before the championship game, Alamo Bowl basically came out and said like whoever loses the Big 12 championship game is going to be in this one. And they're going to play against a team that they haven't played yet, whether it be like BYU versus Arizona State or Iowa State versus Colorado or whatever. And I got into a lot of beef on Twitter because I said there is no way that you look at the Big 12 championship game and pick Iowa State to go to the Alamo Bowl with like the showing that they had in the championship game. And I know that we kind of talked about this, and I was like, whoever loses is just going to get screwed and end up at the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and the other two are locked in at the Alamo because the other one is going to be in the championship game. I honestly don't even know how this is going to turn out. BYU's defense is really going to have to step it up. Travis Hunter is either going to be our Heisman Trophy winner and going to show us why he won it, or he's going to have a come-out party because he got snubbed, and Shedeur Sanders is just going to single target that man all game, and he's probably going to put up like some bogus college football playoff 25 freshman level 500 receiving yards with 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, with 2 of them being pick sixes or some crazy stat line like that.
You neglect the third option though. Travis Hunter could sit out this game.
The Meteor.
Well,
no, he won't sit out.
He had said on Twitter, I saw an interview with him where he said that he had played his last game for Colorado. I don't know if that's true.
If he does sit out, I'm going to be rooting for BYU because
if he sits out, then he doesn't deserve the Heisman.
Well, I agree. Yes. I don't think he deserves the Heisman anyway.
I
think
don't
he
either.
seems like a
Neither
good
do
kid.
I, but I think that should rule you out.
Yeah.
And
What were you going to say, Brittany,
I've got
before I interrupted you?
no, I talk too much. It's fine. I've got a strong opinion about this
Go ahead.
because they said that, and technically, I think the Alamo Bowl is like the higher ranked bowl, right? As Brownie said, people were disappointed at Iowa State. I also think it would have been cool to, instead of having it be like essentially a Pac-12 bowl, to have an original Big 12 school versus a Pac-12 school. But one, Iowa State has played in the Alamo Bowl fairly recently, a couple years ago. And two, even though it's technically ranked higher, once again, the Pop-Tart Bowl is so much better. I'm glad they got the Pop-Tart Bowl. I did not want the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
Listen, I remember the Alamo every day.
I was
as
going to
every
say,
Texan
I just
should.
want Clint Foster to remember the Alamo Bowl, man.
Yeah, there's it's there I have fond memories of TCU playing in the Alamo Bowl. It's not the best venue. And it does not have an anthropomorphic Pop-Tart that you get to eat, right?
No,
That's
there's
just a
nothing
fact.
like super cool about it. I don't know. I feel like the Pop-Tart Bowl should be rated higher. I feel like it's a better thing, and it's more fun to get the Pop-Tart Bowl
Can
than
we
the
just
Alamo
petition that every bowl game has to have like an edible anamorphic bean in it?
No, because then it takes a little bit of the fun away about getting it and then getting to laugh
But,
at the teams that have.
Tostitos Bowl? Why does the Tostitos Bowl not have a giant fucking Tostitos chip?
But what is the New Mexico
Alamo
Bowl?
Are you gonna eat like a Davy Crockett, like
Yeah.
like Davy Crockett made out of steak?
I'm gonna eat Davy Crockett.
I guess it could make like the New Mexico Bowl a little bit more fun.
Yeah, you could have Santa Fe chicken for their capital.
Sure, yeah.
You can just eat like a cake the shape of New Mexico. I don't know. I just feel like the Pop-Tart Bowl is better. Like I don't understand the hype of the Alamo Bowl. And realistically, let's say you get into the higher ranked bowl. Who cares? It's the end of the season. What is it going to do for you? I don't know. I feel like the opponent who you're playing matters more.
It was supposed to give me 12 wins in the season.
Mm.
Now we're looking at 11.
Well, that's not the Pop-Tart Bowl's. That's not the Pop-Tart Bowl's fault.
Shame.
That is your fault, Brownie.
Shame. It's my personal fault, yeah.
John, what's your take on this Alamo Bowl game?
Go ahead.
We're looking at two programs and two fan bases that think to themselves that they can fill up Arlington like it's no big deal. Well, now it's their chance to prove it. All right, who can get to San Antonio the fastest? Who can fill up that Alamo Dome? More black and gold or more blue and white? We'll wait and see. But I guess when it comes to on the field, it kind of boils down to Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders playing, and based on what I've seen from the press conferences, it looked as if that those two will be playing. I think Deion's the kind of guy that will allow for those two to play, kind of similar to what we've seen with Nick Saban in years past. When their teams don't make it to the bigger games, they still have their players playing. So take that for what it's worth. I don't know about you guys, and you can answer this as well, but BYU's the kind of team that I always see throughout the year starting off red hot, like winning the first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games of a year, but then they always kind of phase off. And I don't know if it was just Kansas being really good at the time, just beating BYU, but it feels like every year, under Kalani Sitake, it just kind of feels like they always have 2 or 3 games that they'll kind of slip up eventually. And I think just kind of looking at this game, I don't think they have enough firepower to keep up with what Colorado has on offensively speaking. So, yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents right there. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today.
Yeah,
Clint-
if Travis Hunter does play, then yeah, I think it's going to be bad news for BYU.
It's
But, you
going
know,
to
you
have to
say,
be a
John-
turnover battle at that point. If
Yeah.
Travis Hunter and Shador are both playing, like BYU is going to have to win the turnover battle to even remotely stand a
Right.
chance in this game.
Can you guys look up the payout for the Pop-Tart Bowl versus Alamo Bowl?
Sure.
I suppose.
Brownie, can
Well,
you?
your mom said it's probably all about the money in terms of why they would have preferred the Alamo Bowl. So I'm curious about if there's a huge difference, because that
Yeah.
would make sense then.
Well, I mean, and you know, John, to your point, you asked, you said that BYU and Colorado are going to have to prove that they can fill up the stadium. I don't know about Colorado, but BYU, the answer is yes, right? I mean, they like
They
to
were
call
at the Big 12 championship.
They what?
They were at the Big 12 championship holding signs saying they got screwed over.
Yeah,
They'll go.
well, because here's the thing. BYU, they like to call themselves the Notre Dame of the West, and they are in one way, and that is because there are Mormons everywhere, and they come out of the woodwork for BYU's games. We played BYU in 2011, my junior year. We played them in Cowboy Stadium, and they filled up their half of that sucker. I mean, no problem at all. So this isn't a situation where it's like, oh, all their fans live in Utah. No, they're everywhere, and they show up to the games whenever the Cougs come to town. So I have full faith in BYU's ability to fill up at least their half of the Alamo Bowl. Colorado, who knows? Colorado, maybe you get a lot more people just around that are just interested in the team and Dion. So I do fully expect this to be.
It's a $2 million difference. Alamo Bowl is an $8 million payout, and Pop-Tart Bowl is $6 million payout.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
don't know. I feel like $2 million for a school, that's not that big of a deal for the experience of the Pop-Tart. I would rather get the Pop-Tart.
Well, and at the end of the day, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that all of the bowl payouts kind of go into a pool and then get split among the conference. Is that not correct?
Yeah, so
No,
all
so
of the
then just
payouts,
stick the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah.
everything gets pulled together, and then it's because they still have this stupid structure of Texas and Oklahoma, is it's then based on your record, depends on the percentage that you receive.
Mm.
So, like, Arizona State is going to get the most, then Iowa State's going to get the second most, BYU, Colorado, then share the same amount, and then it just kind of goes down the list from there. So
So if I
Utah is going to get the second worst payout,
Love that.
which feels great. Also, Mike Gundy, buddy, what the heck are you doing?
He's still there. He's
I
not
know.
going anywhere, folks. He is still there.
He's
Yeah,
there.
I
He is
can't wait for
beyond
this.
40.
Yeah, he's not even close to 40 anymore.
I'm a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I think he's almost 60, which is like, God, I'm old.
He's the longest tenured coach, I think, still for Big 12.
Well, I was going
Any
to say,
single college.
I think there's one in your state, bro, that's a little bit longer tenured.
Ooh.
Uh,
1.6
No, for Big 12 teams.
Yeah.
for the guaranteed rate bowl. Goodness gracious. Independence Bowl 2.2 million if I'm reading that correct. So somehow the Independence Bowl is giving more out than the guaranteed rate bowl. I don't know. That was just a quick observation, just looking at these.
why isn't
Also-
TCU in the Independence Bowl, man? I would go to Shreveport. Why aren't we in the Independence Bowl? Why did we get stuck with the New Mexico Bowl? It's just so, it hurts. It
They
hurts.
want you to experience Albuquerque, okay?
I
They want
guess.
you to learn that the capital is Santa Fe.
Yes. they want us to go there just so we can know it's not the capital. That's what it is. Yeah.
Watch some hot air balloons. I
Yeah.
don't know if they do it this time of year, but it seems
Probably
like
not. That's probably a spring activity, not a late December activity. All right, let's talk about this last bowl game. Baylor gets the Texas Bowl against LSU. Brother, they better listen. I do not root for Baylor. I do not like Baylor, but man, they better curb stomp LSU. I want them to just run all over them. What's y'all's take on this game?
You're cheering for Baylor?
In this game I am, man. For the good of the conference, I'm just so pissed off of the SEC this year and their false sense of superiority. I hope they lose every bowl game they're in. So yeah, I'm rooting for Baylor in this one.
But you're a TCU fan.
I am, yeah, I am. But it's going to help TCU. It's not entirely altruistic, right? There's a little bit of a mercenary piece to it. But yeah, hot take. I'm rooting for Baylor in this game.
I mean, which Garrett Nussmeier are we going to see? Like, are are we gonna see like when they played against like Oklahoma and stuff, or are we gonna see like the Texas A&M, Alabama Garrett Nussmeier? Because if that's the case, like Baylor is going to have an absolute heyday with that quarterback, and Baylor's probably not even going to make it close. But if like Nussmeier pops off like he did against like UCLA or Oklahoma, which honestly I think Baylor would also crush those two teams, there might be some form of run for their money. But yeah, I really hope that Baylor wins because I am now officially in Big 12 solidarity mode outside of Utah. Until conference basketball starts, then all of you can get wrecked because Iowa State is running the table on that.
Oh, hey, I'm
not even
man,
close.
bro. We might not win a game.
Hey, man, I've been there. Hashtag thanks, Steve Prohm.
Well, you guys, Arizona also for a little bit was 3-4. They had a below 500 record. The biggest brand in the Big 12. They were the Utah basketball. Okay, and they're
Sorry,
doing
John.
Utah.
I mean, like, hey, here's the thing, and yeah, you're gonna like John. You're not gonna like this. Brittany, you're not gonna like this. Or Brittany is gonna like this. John's not gonna like this. Where does Arizona get off? I know Arizona's a big basketball brand, bro. You're coming into a conference with Kansas. Come on, don't be talking about like it's Kansas. You're not a bigger brand than Kansas. You're just not. Okay, Kansas won a championship like 2 seconds ago. Relax. Okay.
It's why I'm enjoying Arizona being bad and straight. It's like
Arizona
how I enjoyed
basketball
Utah.
fans are the equivalent of Utah football fans.
It sure
Yes,
sounds
they
like
Tell me
are.
that I'm wrong.
They are.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
You guys have, at least your programs have a little bit of glimmer of hope at the latest. All right, we're spending $2 million up to $5 million, and we still can't.
On a guy, you're spending. Aren't you spending like $2 million on a guy who scored like 2 points or something one year?
Everything hurts. That's my only
The
answer.
only reason
all right?
why they went and got him is because he beat Iowa State in March Madness, and that's
2
about
points against Mississippi Valley State a few weeks ago. Like,
By the way, Mississippi Valley State, they've got a great Twitter account. They're very funny.
it. Yeah, their admins are.
Yeah, the TCU community's entire mental health is hinged on women's basketball right now, which is something I never thought I would say. But that is certainly where we are.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
Honestly, I think that's kind of what Texas Tech is starting to do too.
So what
The
you're
whole
saying
state
is
of
you guys are
Texas
waiting
is
for
just-
baseball season?
Yeah, we're waiting for baseball. After the men lost to Vanderbilt, I was like, yeah, man, this is not. We're not going anywhere good this year. We might make the tournament like as a 9 seed again, but I'm not holding my breath. We'll see what happens. This team, all these transfers, I'm not sold on most of them. I don't think that they're gelling as well as we were led to believe that they would, but is what it is. Hopefully we win that jar, that clay pottery, and we can have that keep us warm for a few
It's better
months.
than the Blue Bonnet Trophy.
Oh
We don't
God,
speak
yeah,
that
you
evil.
too. All right. Well, on that note, let's just end this show. Y'all, thanks so much for coming out tonight. Everybody, tell the people where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can listen to you. Go.
Who's your burner on Twitter? I mean, honestly, if you haven't followed me by now, I don't know what you're doing. Also on Blue Sky, Wide Right Natty Light Brownie. You can follow Wide Right Natty Light also on Twitter. You can also follow us on our SB Nation sports page. We also have a fun Discord that everybody can hop into. We mostly talk Iowa State sports, but we have a couple of channels that any Big 12 fan can jump into and discuss. I mean, yeah, we even got some fun realignment talk that's been going on recently with the whole ACC mumbo jumbo. So feel free to jump in and chat it up.
My handle is in the little thing. It's Brittany Rose. That's where you can find me, or if you want to find my dog, you can follow him at Waffles Wreckham. He's way more entertaining. He's delusional as hell, and he still believes Texas Tech is the champion since they beat both Arizona State and Iowa State. So
Texas Tech is a meat judging school. What can I say? Waffles chose the right school, right decision. I won't hold him against that. For whatever reason, I'm stupid. I did not leave my Twitter handle down below, but it is JohnGrove02. All right, you guys spell it without the H. All right, as you can see on the little blue tag, I don't spell it with an H. All right, JohnGrove02. Check it out for all the updates, all kinds of meme content. All the lights just turned off on me, of course. And then got a podcast going as well, Cat Attack. Make sure to check that out. So it's been a blast, Clint. Glad to hop on in such late advance.
Yeah, it's been too long since you've been on. Thank you for being willing to hop on last second. And y'all, please subscribe to the show. We had great viewership tonight. A lot of y'all tuning in on Twitter. Thank you. Now do the next thing. Follow through. Go to YouTube at Big 12 Voice of College Football. Subscribe, like, ding the bell. Help me make this thing a thing. All right, we're trying to grow this show, make it a movement, turn this thing international. We're trying to be the Notre Dame of YouTube college football shows. How's that? Okay, all over. And follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55 and my YouTube channel at Clint Foster Comedy. Had a very fun development in the documentary. Got a fun new interview now added to this growing file that I have of footage. So, I'm getting very excited about that. Y'all are going to want to be a part of it. You're going to see updates on my YouTube channel. And catch the Biggest 12 live on your favorite audio platform. Amazon, Spotify, Apple, you name it, we're there. And tune into The College Football Show with Mark Rogers, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So, until next week, thank you again so much for tuning in. I love y'all. I hope your team wins. And go Big 12. We'll see you around.